With over 8 million broadcasts and over 600 million viewers engaged monthly, Restream is the #1 tool to increase
Hey, brother.
What's going on?
Allergies and gas got me kicking.
Hey, you're gonna have to run the show because I'm still driving. I haven't gotten back to the house yet.
Can you tell me? How was the funeral?
It went well. It went well. It was well put together.
Is everybody else coming in?
Yeah.
Why could I let me share those?
Say that again.
I'm trying to figure out why I let you share the screen.
I have to unshare. Give me a second. You should be able to share now.
Yeah, okay, I'm just trying to see what I'm doing first. Did you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Questions. Oh, that questions for what I wanted to talk about from the Super Bowl and that message.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, good. All right. All right. You still see the words, or you see my camera?
I see the word.
Okay, good. Okay, you can put the office. Put that in the office. That box. Or you put that in so you remember it. Yep. All right. Let's see. DFG, we're going to start.
You got it.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Chocolate Pearl taking over this world of the DFG Emporium. DFG is traveling. He'll come in with his voice only. But I'm going to be driving today. Somebody is just coming in. I think I need to let him in. Hold on. I'll let folks in. Hello, everybody. I'm trying to learn how to do this thing. Here we go. Now I can see everybody. This is Chocolate Pearl, DFG's favorite girl, one of his sisters. And while we're waiting for everybody else to come on, I would like for DFG to do his little spill. And then I will welcome the rest of the people that are on. Take it over, DFG.
This is DFG, the man with the gold voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a rose.
All right. We want to thank everybody for joining us today. Let me put my, here we go. Make it look like y'all can see this somewhere. I'm sorry if I sound horrible, but I have allergies, cold, whatever going on today. So I want to welcome two people. One of the people that's on here comes on every week faithfully. We want to thank her for doing so. And that's Kimberly. Kimberly, how about you tell us a little something about yourself real quick?
Hello, everyone. I'm originally from Georgia, now residing in Woodbridge, Virginia. Been here now for about 3 years. Yeah.
All right, thank you so very much, Kimberly. Welcome. And I see someone named May is on. How about May? Say a little something about yourself. Introduce yourself, please. Okay, maybe a little bit later. She possibly has stepped away from her device. So we're going to go ahead and talk about what we're going to talk about today. Today, I would like to discuss the halftime, Super Bowl halftime from Sunday. A lot of that particular went over my head. I could imagine what was going on was him just dissing Drake, or throwing shade towards Drake again, because messages in there. I did hear those messages, but I ignored them because I was like, okay, this is a little boring, or this is not entertaining. So I actually had to tell someone that even though it wasn't the normal entertainment program, it was a program with a message, and that message was a message of us coming together, not being divided, and a lot of stuff that was going on. So I had a list that I thought it was very interesting, and I pointed out the different topics, or the different secret meetings that they had in there. And I would like for us to discuss that. Let me see if I can see this. So, all right, is everybody can see the screen? On the screen, we have where it says this halftime show was more than entertainment. It was a powerful statement filled with hidden messages. Those hidden messages are there. I didn't get them until the next day when people pointed it out, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I can remember that. It started off with Samuel Jackson as Uncle Sam, and he was playing the house slave role, just like in Django Unchained. How does people feel? Did they catch that? Did y'all catch that on there?
There was another just like this chocolate pearl. Someone also used it as if Uncle Sam wasn't just for show. Uncle Sam symbolized America's grip on Black culture, how it profits. I had a root canal yesterday. I can't tell how profits from us, but doesn't always protect or respect us. That was another symbolism I found with the Uncle Sam.
Right. I like I said, it was bringing history in to me, bringing the history. And because it was Samuel Jackson, he is Sam, Uncle Sam, his boisterous ways of expressing himself woke people up and made them pay attention to what he was saying. That's how I felt. After I reviewed it again, it was like the first time I'm like, why is Samuel Jackson dressed up like, Uncle Sam? And then it didn't dawn on me there was going to be some type of beating or subliminary beating in his whole, in the whole program. I thought that after I realized what was really going on, because I was one of those persons where it went over my head. And because I was like, okay, why is they doing this? Or why are they doing that? Oh, is that Serena Williams? That's what I was paying attention to. So I wasn't really paying attention to what I should have been paying attention to, along with other people. But I'm glad that they actually took the time to break that down, because a lot of people got upset for the fact that Kendrick Lamar was the actual performer and not Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne is from that town. So I like the fact that. So we're gonna go to the second one. The second one says, a warning to Kendrick. Jackson's telling him to play the game white America expects. Is anybody in here to tell me what did they get out of that and to understand what he's trying to say? Anybody?
Well, go on.
No, I was just going to ask him to read it again.
Okay. The warning to Kendrick. Jackson's telling him to play the game white America expects. What I was getting out of it, of him saying that, is that, they want us to bow down and do what they want us to do. So play the game the way they want to do, so we can stay out of trouble or life can go on. That's how I somewhat took it. But did anybody else take it in a different way when he made that statement? I just see with somebody's hand up, but they took it down.
No, that's me, Big Al.
Oh,
I took it the same way, that this is a game, and we have to abide by the rules that the white man has instituted in terms of how we dress, how we speak, how we carry ourselves. And that was just a subtle message that we need to play the game.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It was, like I said, the subliminal messages to a lot of people, the weight was not necessarily clear, but when people started speaking about it, it's like, oh, okay, that's what they were saying. So yeah, I agree with that. Anybody else have a comment on that? And while we are talking about that, I want to thank the people who came on. I see we got some newcomers. We got Mary May. Hey, Mary. That's her grandson's mother. Then you got, let me put my glasses on because you know I'm blind. Salona D. Did I say that right?
Yes.
How are you doing? Thank you for joining us today. Do you have any comments on what we had just said? And those two first questions was Samuel Jackson as Uncle Sam, and the other one was the warning to Kendrick from Samuel Jackson.
I just kind of came on, and I heard the one where he was saying, "Play the game, white America expect," and
Right.
a lot of times for myself, I don't know if it was like a statement of sarcasm, because when I published my book, I self-published, and the reason that I self-published is because I don't want to play that game. I want to say what I want to say and how I want to say it, and I have more control over my voice than if I let like Random House or somebody publish my work, and they may say, "Hey, we don't like what you said here," and to me that would be more playing the game that white America expects, because they will have control over my work.
Right. That is so profound right there. I agree with you on that. It was you're right. It was a sarcastic remark, saying and playing it the way the white man wants us, but he was saying that to me. He was saying that in a like you said, in a sarcastic way. Meaning, no, we're not gonna play it that way because they want us to do it that way, but we're not gonna do it that way. So I like those subliminal messages he was doing. I also want to introduce the co-host, and the co-host on here is Apple and Beanie. Apple, I need you to come on and say a little something for us, for our audience today.
Hi, everybody. I really don't have anything to add. I didn't see the performance or the Super Bowl, so I cannot add anything to this conversation. I've seen little snippets, but not enough to, form an opinion, So I'm going to leave this to you guys.
All right. What about you, Beanie?
I literally watched it on YouTube 5 minutes ago. It was a good performance, and that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go on to the third one. It said it was a Squid Game stage, and the stage actually symbolized the rich exploiting the poor. Big Al, I know you have something to say on that one.
Was that the tic-tac-toe board you talking about?
Yeah, well, yes and no. It actually looked like the Game Boy. It was that Game Boy, the controller that plays up, with Sony.
PlayStation one?
PlayStation, yes, the PlayStation one. They had those symbolizing the PlayStation, because not only was he sent a message for America, but he was also still dissing Drake all at the same time. So, anybody else have? What about you, Big Al?
Yeah, that Squid Game, as you said, was like a game controller. And
Right.
It goes back to that central theme that this is a big game, life and how we deal in America. But that Squid Game and what they were symbolizing is the rich killing the poor. And that's what America has thrived on. And if you think of South African whites dominated everything in South Africa, and the blacks were slaves and they worked on plantation. And that was a big uprising, I guess around 15, 20 years ago, where the blacks started taking over those farms that they were working on and killing the white owners. So,
Right.
so there's little subliminal message. I'm not sure if Kendrick Lamar understands that, but that's something that I thought about with the Squid Games and, the rich killing the poor. And in this case, it was the rappers beefing with each other with uh, Lamar and Drake. And so it was very interesting. A lot of things that were revealed there that ought to really start us as people to start thinking.
Right. Thank you. Mary, do you have any say on that, what we just spoke about?
I honestly I watched the whole performance, but that went directly over my head. The whole game over. I took it as he meant game over, this is done. I killed it. I did not get the reference until the day after when I was looking on social media and I saw, but and I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But I'm trying to figure out how people are saying that it's, rappers beefing and stuff like that. When you think of the whole breakdown of the song, and he's one of his songs were calling Drake, the white man, um, and certain things that he do and the way that he moves in the industry. So, was that supposed to be a unity type thing for him to say I'm done beefing with you, or what I'm saying, or is that just another him trying to go take it a little further from me?
That's interesting, very interesting. Good, that was a good thought about what you thought about it, because I said in the beginning that it went over my head in a sense. A lot of that, the underhand of trying to deliver a message to America. Only thing I seen and heard, and that's because DFG was talking in the last podcast about those two, and so that brought the attention to my eyes. Okay, that's what I'm paying attention to. Is he going to diss Drake? I didn't pay attention to the messages that he was sending. So I agree with you on that one. Go ahead, Big Al.
Yeah, I think it's a continuation of the beef, and I'm really getting educated since the Super Bowl, because this beef with Drake and Lamar has been going on for a long time, and there were a number of subtle messages in there with Serena. Think about it. Serena used to date Drake. The young lady who was singing with the purple on, I can't remember her name, but she used to, SZA. She used to date Drake as well. So two of Drake's ex-girlfriends were in the video, and that was kind of in your face. And when you think about it, Lil Wayne, he's from New Orleans, and he was devastated when he was not picked to be the highlight. And guess what? Lil Wayne and Drake are real good friends. So that's another dig and from a rapper's perspective, Kendrick is seen more as ghetto and colored, and Drake more caters to the white expectation and that model. So that was the dichotomy between being ghetto and being white, if that makes sense.
So it does make a lot of sense. Anybody else have any comment on that?
I feel you gotta also think about the order of the songs and the songs that he actually did perform. And like I said, I just watched it because I don't watch the Super Bowl, don't care about the Super Bowl, but because everybody was talking about it, I was like, all right, and I knew this was going to be a subject. Let me watch this. Like I said, I enjoyed the performance, but you also, because I know about the beat, you have to, and I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan, you have to think about the order of the songs and think about the songs that he actually did do first. And how he set up everything. I thought that was genius. that was my quick review.
Okay, no, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, well, one of the things they were saying as well is like with the performance of Humble, when the dancers performed the American flag, it was really supposed to be a reminder that Black people are a part of the country, as some of the producers were saying, even when we aren't always treated right.
Right. That actually brings us to the fourth question, or the fourth, whatever we're gonna call it. The red, white, and blue dancers, the American flag. Notice what was missing. Did anybody know what was missing when they did that formation?
Was it the stars?
Yeah, you notice was only one star.
Right.
And also, it was divided.
Exactly.
It was divided. It was divided. So I don't think a lot of people caught that one. Yeah, I think this question was kind of mentioned a little differently, but we all know what we're trying to say. What was missing was the stars, and that the flag was actually divided. Anybody have a comment on that? Okay, if not, I'm gonna go on. Number 5.
I don't see that, but if you're saying that, I was just thinking when you said that, I was like, isn't it a saying, united we stand, divided we fall?
Yes.
It was like, if you think about it, that as soon as you said that, because I didn't see that at all, I noticed that in the blue section of the dancers, there wasn't a white star, there wasn't a couple of white specks in there.
Right, it wasn't.
The stars, but as soon as you said that, I thought of that saying, and I'm like, ooh, that needs to be, I don't know, talked about, because that's exactly what it is. There's not even in certain in individual groups in this country, they're not even united.
Right.
They're fracturing like left and right. From my viewpoint, from what I'm watching, from my little corner of the world, it's crazy to me, and I'm like, what's going on? What's really going on?
Right. Number 5, prison yard stage. A reminder of a mass incarceration as Black performers harmonized. Did anybody catch that one? Or what do you think that they were trying to demonstrate? I actually didn't pay attention to that portion, but did they kind of, if anybody paid attention, do you think that they were able to portray that situation and for everybody to understand? Because I don't remember even seeing that part. No?
Was it the part at the, I know it was a section that we didn't get to see when I went back and saw some of the things on social media where they were all on the field dressed in black. And there was one guy on top of the car that they had to chase, and the security, he had a Gaza flag.
Oh, I didn't see that. So yeah, so I guess there was some certain aspects of the show or the show that we didn't get to see.
Yeah.
So because I
remember seeing it. Yeah, it was during the time Kendrick was performing that this happened. And security came out. He wasn't even part of the performance.
Yeah, now that was I heard that somebody that had a Gaza flag jumped out in performance. But I didn't get to see that. So okay, moving on. Number 6, protecting Black women. It was stated that a nod to Serena Williams after Drake's disrespect, karma never misses. Now, I didn't know what actually went down with Serena and Drake. I don't know why they said something about disrespect. Did Drake disrespect women? I know in the song it makes him sound like he's a pedophile, so he might have been messing with younger women or underage women. I'm not sure. I don't want to put any negativities out there, but does anybody know what's going on with that situation? Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, Drake was with Serena, but he took her from Common. And when he was able to sleep with her, he sent emails and text messages back to Common, letting him know that what he called Jody guy sneaking in the back door, where he's taken women from other men, and he likes to disrespect those women and men by letting their ex-boyfriends know that he's with them, and he likes to give a lot of details on what happened during that sexual encounter.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. That's real disrespectful. Go ahead, Mary. You got your hand up.
And to like piggyback on that, he would also mention her in his music, and like when Drake has any like black female artists, he disrespects them as well. But if you like see him with a white woman, it's like held up to the highest standard for some reason. But he'll allow, black women to be disrespected, and he'll also, disrespect them in his music. So I can see how Kendrick, felt like he was protecting black women as well. Well, not as well, but protecting black women with the performance.
Thank y'all for that, because I had no idea. I don't keep up with stuff like that, but and a lot of most Americans probably don't either. But that was very interesting. We thank you for your insight on that one, because I sure didn't know. Now I know why she was up there along with SZA, because I was like, Serena Williams. I said, is Serena Williams drip walking? It's like, that's Serena. So, but I knew that Drake and her were dating at one point. So I thought that they were, when you got your ex as a woman scorned type situation. That's what I thought it was. But like I said, it went way over my head.
Yeah, it was a personal jab.
I'm sorry.
I genuinely felt like she should have. Personally, I feel like she should have, been a little above it. But I guess it was, a worldwide petty moment to, indulge in.
Right.
But yeah, it's like you have your child, you're married, you've been with your husband, y'all successful, whatever. Like you should have been a little, yeah, leave one of them alone.
Yeah.
That man suffering and stuff.
It's over. I was watching something, and what was it that I said was wrong? I think it was John Lennon. Was it John Lennon? It was somebody that we were looking on a podcast to get some more information on. I was trying to do my research, and they was mentioning, well, yeah, I think he dated Serena 2 years ago. I'm like, how in the world did he date this Serena 2 years ago? And her child is at least 6-7 years old.
Exactly.
Her oldest child is old, and she's been married all this time. When you put out information, make sure you put it out right. Even though I think most Americans knew the truth, but still put the right information out. But I thank you for that, because I'm telling you, I did not know at all. And I know with my two other female co-hosts, they didn't know either what was going on with in that situation. But she did a good job, crip walking. All right, so number 7, they not like us. In quotations, a message to Drake and America. Our culture is real. Now, that to me is a deep situation or a deep statement. Anybody have any feedback on that? Hey, Dred, I appreciate you coming on. We're talking about the Super Bowl and the hit messages that were in the Super Bowl. We are number 7, where it says they not like us, which is a message to Drake and America. our culture is real.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Like as an educator, I saw so many multiple uses for his performance to kind of like galvanize the culture, but even the youth, just like it's almost like a form of protest, but it was like this use of language and just figurative language and just all of this symbolism. I think it had like so much in there that you can figure out how to market to the young people of today and hopefully encourage them and inspire them to kind of try to do something instead of just being apathetic to the situation happening.
Okay, well, thank you. Mary, you did have your hand up. You changed your mind?
No, but I did for as far as saying like we African Americans have culture. It's real, and when you encounter like someone that is sometimes like you'll encounter Africans that are living in America. They're like, oh, you guys have no culture. You guys have no X, Y, and Z. Everything that you have is stolen. But and then they're like, oh, your culture it may be like young black boys toting guns and gangs, and it's like it's so much more than that, and then so much more to our culture than that. And for him to like let people know America was built on black people, whether y'all like it or not, and whether y'all want to include us or not, y'all are only here because of us.
Yeah, because we built America basically. I thought that was a part of his message as well. Selena, am I saying your name right? Solana?
Yeah, Solana.
Solana.
Say for myself, when I heard they're not like us. So for me, it gave me a sense of pride, like a revolutionary moment, the whole era of it. And it made, as a boomer, it reminded me of the Harlem Renaissance, how black people, when you think about the revolution back then, you think about people marching, getting beat up, and then you had the Panthers came. But I felt like this was a moment for Black America, like a modern kind of Harlem Renaissance moment.
Okay. All right, Big Al.
Yeah, for me, people of color, Black people, have a rich and distinctive culture from the beginning in America, but we go all the way back to biblical times. And if you think about Africa as a country, I mean, we are the descendants of kings and queens. Native Americans have a rich culture. The only ethnic group that doesn't have a real culture are white Americans. And so they have nothing to really identify. I mean, they came from Italy, they've come from Europe and other places, and they feel threatened because we have a rich culture. And that's one of the reasons why they're trying to stymie our culture, taking away Black history and all those other significant racial or ethnic groups, I guess is a better term, who have rich cultures that they can boast about and brag about and celebrate. And the white man has no culture that he can brag about or that distinguishes him.
Okay. So Lana, you wanted to say something else?
Yeah, just to piggyback off of Al, we do have a very rich history, and often they have tried to emulate us. And, they don't want the history told because if you go back to Africa, that's where everything began, language, medicine, everything, even architect. And so that's why they try to cover up who we are, but we know who we are, and that's just not going to happen.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in.
Okay, we got DJ Dan. He raising his hand in my presence. So
one of the things I've been, and I don't, like her, she said, I don't listen to Lamar too much, but after what happened at the Super Bowl and kind of thinking about, I've listened to several podcasts, which I normally don't listen to, but So there's, I mean, a lot of things being said about how, a lot of people, how they feel about how certain things was portrayed. So you got people saying one thing, how they thought about this and how they thought about that, and how a whole lot of things was thought about, or what he thinks what he thinks they were trying to say, or what Lamar was trying to say. Until we know until he tells us what he's trying to say, everybody can, have their opinion. But one of the things that I was, with one of the podcasts I was listening to, they were talking about, how the whole thing was not just, a lot of people were trying to focus on him and the whole, what's the other boy's name? Drake situation. But a lot of it, he was telling America, you guys are idiots, really. If you look at some of the stuff, they were saying, like, the whole flag thing, that she said was separated. If you look at the flag, the whole flag is actually there. What the problem is we're being separated. And he's telling them, you're not like us because this is what you were doing to the rest of, this is what you were doing to the country. This is what you were doing to us. You don't see us the same. And then after, again, and as I was listening to some of the people saying a lot of stuff went over their heads, but people sat and thought about it, then you even hear the MAGA people saying, calling them renegades and calling them, of course they're going to call them out of their names, but they understood. I think a lot of them understood what he was trying to say. And they understood the message. Well, really bad. So, I mean, since the last 2 days, since this Sunday Super Bowl, it's the world was, the United States is more separated. The message should have helped make them think, bring it together. Maybe at some point in time it will. But, listen to all the different, whether how he set up the flag, some of the stuff he said, the game, the board being, portrayed as a Sony controller. Yeah, Sony controller, and all that stuff. All of that was what I'm saying. So not only did he diss Drake, but he was dissing the United States.
Okay, all right. Anybody else comment on what he just said? I see everybody's on mute. All right. Well, yeah, able to hear him?
Yeah, I heard him. I agree with him 100%.
All right. Yeah, because him and I have been talking about this since yesterday. We kind of did a little bit more research and listened to a couple of other podcasts where people having conversations about this situation. Because, to me, it was a big thing. Like I said, it went over my head. I can tell you that it did. But once I was told, or once I started researching what really was going on, it really enlightened me about the different things that's going on, especially in this new season, this new administration that we are about to embark, because we're in trouble. Anybody brown, black or brown, are in trouble. Already, you start to see it. I went to the grocery store today and I spent $90 on absolutely nothing. And I just needed some milk, some eggs, the ingredients for tonight's dinner, and some lunch and breakfast. $90. It's ridiculous. So, the things that's going on with America right now, and with the economy it's changing drastically. I was just laid off last week, and I got a phone call I was just laid off Thursday last week, and I got a phone call today that they laid off all the contract stays next Thursday. So it's crazy. It's crazy. And the company that I was working for is a national company. It's even in Canada as well. So it's just crazy what the economy is going through right now. It's just in these few weeks, somebody had their hand up, and I'm sorry I didn't see it. What it was.
That was me. And what I was going to say, Super Bowl halftime show is one of the best things that could have happened to Black people. because it's making us open up our eyes. And with those messages that were sent, Kendrick Lamar are phenomenal. And it's amazing. I'm looking at my Facebook page and Messenger and seeing my friends who are white and seeing the real white and seeing some of the responses. I'm looking at one now from a friend that says, we had hundreds of dancers participating in this halftime, and they can't manage to have one single white person in the dance group. This is pathetic. And then there was a response back that said, wait a minute, you just supported DEI and that people should be selected based upon merit, and Black people are historically the best. It really tells me who I need to feed along some spoon, but it's making our people think. And I think it could have happened.
Yeah. But you know, when you said that, it kind of reminded me of they're complaining about they don't realize that this is what we were going through for decades. Complain about it. Now you want to complain about it. Because we didn't ask you and we took the message. No, it doesn't make sense. The reason they don't have that is I have those white people. Number 8, call to action. That brings us to what we were discussing. The world is in crisis. Off the TV. I don't think you better turn for you to turn the TV off that while you're watching it. I personally don't. I think that he's saying that.
Mustard.
Why you don't give it to the poor people? Because they're the ones that are out there displaying this stuff. We need to learn. We need to wake up. We are totally asleep when it comes to reorganizing our culture, revamping what we need to do with our mindset of how we should live and how we should go forward. Like I said on there, we do need to unite. We need to unite together and not trying to be better than one another. We just need to be the best culture that we could possibly be so we can survive what's going on in this administration. Anybody else?
Turn the TV
on. Okay. Who was talking? Was it? Go ahead, so Luna.
Okay, I think in terms of because I'm an educator, but I'm retired, and so when I retired, I was trying to figure out what my purpose was going to be towards our community and being in special education.
Must have on our beat. Oh. Mustard on the oh, mustard. Mustard on the beat.
So my thing is, what can I do as a teacher to keep the kids in the classroom and not just send them out like their behavior problem is because what's causing
the fact that you are thinking of what to do next and not just push them off is the first step. That's the first step. It's actually trying to figure out what you can do. You don't know, but DJ Dab is actually a special needs teacher as well, and he deals with those types of things on a regular basis. But he was just saying, while you can talk, he was just saying that is so true because the school that he's in now compared to the school he was last year is a totally different situation. He was in Duval County, now he's in St. John County, which is two different counties, and he comes home smiling. Before he was coming home beat up. Yeah. Not mentally beat up. He was physically beat up because of the students was throwing chairs and tables and metal bottles, and he had to go to the hospital for that type thing. But compared to now, I mean, they still throwing chairs, but they throw it at the wall or throw it in the opposite way. But it's just it's a totally different atmosphere of the different culture of what he was dealing with in Duval County versus what he's dealing with. Totally different situation. I just wish he don't come home with colds and I catch him with. Outside of that, he's much happier now because of the different culture. I mean, it's a totally different situation. But because you're taking the step to say, okay, I refuse to allow this person to go to ISS. I want to figure out what's wrong with it. Let me figure out. That's the first step, and that's the best step you can take right now because of the fact that you want to be involved and figure it out and not just be a regular substitute teacher. And I want to commend you and thank you for your service. on that. We have the last one, and then game over for us. So game over in the audience. A bold statement determining change, meaning that we got to stop what we're doing and revamp and regenerate what we're gonna do next. Make things happen. Anybody else have a comment on what he put out there? Game over. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the whole game over situation.
You gotta come up. I can barely hear you.
The fact that now with our current leadership being blatant about being anti-DEI and just the way they move with firing and sending people back, he's like putting it out there on first. So we can't walk around the same way and pretend as if we don't know that they don't like us. They never really wanted us to be a part. So we're here. So it's like, well, how are we going to fix this out? The game over, it's like the figured out. We were playing around and, making it all smiling in our face like it was all good, but now it's out there, it's real. Like, this is what we're doing. We don't, we're not going to be taking care of people. We're going to be shutting stuff down, firing people. So how do we go for ourselves? How do we do things where try to spend our money to get our community and uplift stuff?
Okay. All right, DFG, you had your hand up.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hold on.
DFG, it's your turn.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I made it back safely. One of the things I wanted to jump in so bad. Well, over the whole thing is, and the symbolism can go a mile deep. So the symbolism can go a mile deep, but my take on it is that the whole thing is the history of being Black in America, where we had to be creative in order to communicate, because we were robbed of our language. We were robbed of our traditions that we kept orally. We were robbed, and every time we tried to build something, and our family history, we were possibly related to Nat Turner, so it's one of those things. And you have to look at it as, whenever we do something that's profitable, that's marketable, or that's popular, it gets co-opted. First it was jazz, then it was blues, country music, rock and roll, hip hop. Because what happened, and I'm gonna stick to hip hop because that's my, that is my wheelhouse. When we were coming up in the beginning, as we were going into the 80s and going from the 80s to the 90s, hip hop had evolved from simple ABC rhymes to ultimately we started kicking knowledge, and we were bringing things into existence. We were talking about education. We were talking about stop self-destruction. We were talking about stop the violence. We were talking about building and learning. We were talking about things that were bringing us together. And once that happened, then it got co-opted by gangster rap. Now, I don't blame NWA for proliferating gangster rap, because they were doing what they were rapping about, what they were seeing. So what happened after that, then all the positivity in rap went down. And by 1997, 1998, it was a lot of shoot 'em up beef type deal, where we're talking about selling drugs, not to survive, but selling them to taking them and using them. We went from selling them to using. We used to say drugs was bad, and now now they're talking about I take drugs, I take lean, I take this, I take that to medicate us and to keep us unaware and elevating to a higher spiritual and knowledge. And we're looking at our schools aren't teaching us to be better. They're just teaching us how to become a worker in the cog of the system. And if you don't do that, you go into the school to prison pipeline and you lose your way to vote. And that way the game is over, because ever since the black codes, it was basically, and Jim Crow and mass incarceration and the war on drugs, it's been a crime to have black skin. And I remember when I was in grad school at the University of Maryland, and I sat in, and this was right after the Rodney King verdict and the LA riots. We were talking. I was sitting on a panel, and I said, the object is to disenfranchise black people from voting, because when black people vote, black people make a difference. Yes, we're 12% of the population, but when we vote and we dedicate ourselves to something, we get it done. So how do you disenfranchise people without disenfranchising them? Well, things that would be a misdemeanor, and this is kind of where you got to look at the game, play the game. Things that would be misdemeanors are turned into felonies. And what can't felons do? They can't vote. They can't get jobs. Well, you can be the president with a felon, but you gotta have the right complexion for the protection.
But Trump voted.
Oh yeah, I agree. And so going back to that, is that to tie this all together is that now that we're sitting back and we're watching and the United States is faltering because we chose to take our ball and sit on the sidelines and say, okay, it's y'all time to get on the front lines and fight for what you want. And guess what's not happening? Everybody's saying, where the black people? Where the black people? Well, 92% of black women and 78% of black men said, hey, we sitting this one out. We're on code this time. We want things. If you want us to participate, give us something to participate for. We are tired of giving away our hard-earned time, space, and money on empty promises. And then as soon as they get what they want, they kick us to the curb. That's what they did with all those people for Trump. Blacks for Trump, Latins for Trump, gays for Trump. They're getting all of those. And like I said, it's a big game that keeps us looking at others. And now the black people are saying, hey, we had enough. We told y'all what we were doing, and now you didn't listen. So you're getting what you're getting. Team FAFO. And like I said, I just got back. It took me about 7 hours to get from New York to Virginia because of the snowstorm we got up here. But I made it safe and sound. I probably have to go to work in the morning, but that's what I got. And I appreciate you, Pearl, for stepping in ably. And you're gonna need to step in a little bit more because you got to get your game up. You got to get your game up. Practice makes perfect. I want to thank each and everybody that wanted, and I'll let Chocolate Pearl close it out this time. But I want to thank y'all for coming on and support those in YouTube land, Facebook land, TikTok land, Instagram land, and all the other platforms that we are on. Don't forget this. I said this show is always sponsored by the Real Golden Girls Creations. Golden Girls Creation for sundry items and things like that. If you wanna get I'm gonna pull up the commercial in a second. But if you want something that's good, you get with Chocolate Pearl. She's good. I'm trying to get her to try to do this full time so she can get this money, because I know she'll make money, because She has quality goods. So y'all continue to buy from her and get her stuff. I'm not going to do the commercial this time, but I'll work it for the next time. Back to you, Chocolate Pearl.
All right. Well, I thank you so very much, and for all the people who have joined us, and thank you so very much for Solana and Mary for joining us this week. I hope you was entertained with this podcast and what the topic was. I appreciate y'all participating. As always, I am thanking Dre and Kimberly and Big Al. I love when Big Al comes on because he's so intellectual for me, and I love talking with him. With Dre and Kimberly, we talk all the time. I thank y'all for joining us and all the media land, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and I appreciate everything that you did. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate you enjoying this. Hopefully you can come back next week. We're on here every week, every Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. You're welcome to join us either on Facebook, on TikTok, YouTube, or you can join us and be a part of the panel on Zoom. We can always send you the code and how to get on, and you're welcome to come on and join us. Thank you so very much. And Apple, do you have anything to say?
This was, as usual, a very good show, and I learned a lot today, and I really appreciate everybody picking up the slack for me, so to speak, and you did a wonderful job with hosting this week, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I have this bad sinus situation going on, but I'm glad I was able to still hold it down for DFG while he was traveling. I hope I didn't bore anybody. I hope I didn't sound stupid, and I hope I gave you some information, because I thought that this topic was really good, and I'm glad that DFG was allowing me to have it here today. Thank you so very much. It's time for us to go, and we want to thank everybody for joining us, and tune in next week where we may have just a regular conversation, just us people just throw it out, chat. If not, we may actually have a topic, but hey, you never know. If you don't show up, you won't know. Thank you for joining us, and we will see y'all next week. Peace out.